Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me today. Today's card is the first of several cards that I will be making for autumn. I have my base here. This is just some Neenah 110 pound cardstock, and I have that scored but not folded yet so I can stamp easier. I will be using the Leaf Prints stamp set from Paper Tray Ink, and I absolutely love this stamp set. I'm also going to be using my Misty to stamp the larger leaf images. And I will be using the Hero Arts Autumn Ombre stamp pad to stamp my leaves on this card. Now, the reason I chose to use my Misty for this part of the card is because I used this stamp set last year on my autumn cards, so I know that I may need to re-stamp the images to get a clear image from those larger leaf prints. And the one that I'm putting down on the card now is the one that I had particular trouble with last year getting a clear image. So by using the Misty, I can re-stamp those leaves in exactly the same place without having to worry about lining them up. And I'm just arranging those there on the card, getting them where I want them. And once I have those in position, I'm just going to go ahead and ink up my stamps. And I should have moved the stamp pad around just a little bit as I was inking up the stamps, because I didn't really like those hard lines between the colors. I wanted a more blended look, but the final card turned out okay, so it's not so bad. And I'm just going to ink up my stamps again and re-stamp just so I get a lot of really dark color on my leaves. So once I had the body of the leaves stamped, I went ahead and positioned the skeleton or the veins of the leaves. I'm not sure what those are called. I got those positioned onto my leaf images so that I could stamp those. And I didn't really pay attention at the time, but you can see there in the bottom, that bottom stamp was hanging off of the paper, so it didn't stamp really well. But you can't tell in the finished card, so I didn't redo it, I just left it. To stamp the next part of my leaves, I used some vintage Photo Distress ink. It's a really nice brown color that I thought looked perfect with the leaves. And then I decided that I needed a couple of smaller leaves on my card, and I'm just going to stamp those with an acrylic block using that same ombre ink pad. And I did a better job of getting the colors to blend on the smaller leaves. I was a lot happier with how those turned out than I was the larger leaves. I'm just going to add one more leaf in the middle there where it looks kind of bare. So next I need to create something to cut my greeting out of. So I just trimmed a piece of cardstock. I'm not sure what kind it is. It was just something I pulled out of my stash pile. And I'm going to be layering on some distress inks. First, I'm using Wild Honey. And I wanted this to be really, really dark so that my greeting would stand out on the card. So I'm really putting on a lot of ink here. Next, I'm going to go in with Barn Door to add some red. And finally, I'm going to put some vintage photo on there. For my greeting, I'm going to use the Autumn Blessings die from Simon Says Stamp. And I'm just going to run that through my Cuttlebug really quickly. Then once I had those cut out and I set them on my card, of course I realized that despite the amount of ink I had used, the greeting didn't really stand out. So to fix that, I decided to put a piece of vellum on the front of my card. That way you can really see the greeting, but you can also still see the leaves behind. I didn't want my piece of vellum to be exactly the same size as the front of my card. I just wanted it slightly smaller all the way around. So I trimmed that down. And then once I had that trimmed just perfectly, I went ahead and attached that with some Tombow Extreme adhesive, and I only put adhesive along the top of the vellum. I was afraid that it would wrinkle if I had adhesive all the way around all of the edges, so I just ran it across the top. Next, I'm going to take my Quickie glue pen and go over the back of my greeting so that I can attach that to the card. And I had a little trouble getting it straight, but because of the Quickie glue pen, if you let it dry, you can move things around and it won't attach or stick to your card until you give it a good firm press. Just going over the word blessings with my Quickie glue pen so I can stick that on there. And then once I had that on, I decided to add a little something extra to my card. Oh, but first I'm going to put the dot above my eye. That has a proper name. I can't think of it right now. That was a little hard to get on there. Okay, now it is time for some sequins. I have these absolutely gorgeous leaf sequins from Cartwright's that I have been dying to use. So I just took a few of those and I decided to run those down the left side of my card. To attach those, I used some Tombow Mono Multi glue, and if I did this card again using these sequins, I would definitely use another kind of adhesive, maybe some of the clear foam tape, because I used a lot of glue. The sequins are cupped just a little bit, and so I wanted to have enough glue on there that it would stick to the paper. And I ended up adding so much glue that it caused my vellum to wrinkle or bubble just a little bit. Not to mention the fact that my fingers got all sticky and picked up all kinds of fuzz and cat fur. So I love these sequins, but I would definitely attach them to my card in a different way next time. Maybe even run some silver or gold thread through them and attach them that way somehow. Then once I had all of the glue off of my fingers, I decided to add just a little more shimmer to my card, and to do that I got out my Wink of Stella clear glitter brush and I just went over the Autumn Blessings words just for a little extra something. And that is going to finish this card. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it inspires you to create your own autumn blessings to make someone smile. If you like the card and you like the video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel. I will be back in a few days with another autumn card. Until then, I hope you have a fabulous day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!